Hey, and welcome to Hold My Popcorn. I'm Max Ely in Asheville, and with us is Boston is Tim Begin. How are you, Timmy Slim Jim?
I'm good, Max. I'm not in Cincinnati this week, which is good because I was there last week. And I think this is a definitive rule of life. Time not spent in Cincinnati is better than time spent in Cincinnati. So that I'm good.
Good.
Oh, and if you're from Cincinnati, listeners, fuck you. Because no one listens to this fucking podcast.
Hey, we are the number 250 most listened to podcasts in Russia right now. And we're number 25 in London, or in England.
Number 25 in England?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, this week we are.
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill. What was it, 250 something in Russia?
Yep. Even better.
Pump up the jams. That's right, folks. This podcast has turned from pro-Ukrainian to pro-Russia. Keep climbing up the billboard.
That's right, Ukraine. How about you guys start listening to some podcasts? What else are you guys doing over there?
Quit being so selfish.
Yeah. Turn your fucking Wi-Fi on. God.
We've had 2 downloads from you in the last month, Ukraine.
What's that about?
Fuck you.
Yeah, they're both Russian, too. Over in Portland, Maine, we have the man who's not a squib. Mr. Bill Dooley's on the show. How are you, Bill?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good about that compliment. I'm alive, so there's that.
You're poor. You're not good.
Every friggin' disease and cold that can pass through a human body has gone through our house in the last 6 weeks, except for I don't know. Well, I don't know. We've probably had the Black Plague, maybe. I don't know. So I'm alive at this point. I'm not good, but here I am.
The COVID actually eats up the Black Plague, so it's good.
Yeah, exactly. They balance each other out.
All right. Well, this week
hey, Max,
we're now.
Max, I'm gonna let you finish. Bill, you thought you were doing bad. You're about to do a lot worse. Guess who's back, bitches? It's the one and only gunslinging, beer drinking, gout hobbled commenter to ever utter the words oily grundle on streaming media. That's right. It's the man who can instantly dry a woman's panties like the Sahara and at the same time make Bill Dooley as hard as Plymouth Rock. The Tennessee Kid is back, baby!
Oh, no.
Max, I did not sign up for this.
Tim's screen immediately froze when this happened, too.
That was
literally broke Tim.
Flashbacks of my rectum in his face, yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy that Max thought around the podcast got a lot of audio from Derek.
It took me a solid 5 to 10 seconds before I was like, oh no, that's actually Derek.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what, Max did an incredible sales job on that. Well done, Max. Well done.
Thank you.
I was actually, Max, you said that we were having that guy on the show, and I was like, fuck, I never listened to anything from that person. And I'm scrolling through the text that changed, trying to find what's his name? What does he do? Who is this person? Oh, Jesus.
I felt enormously prepared because the last time we had a special guest on, I did not watch the movie. What's going on, Paco? We saw that you had a bachelor party. Interesting that you're alive.
Only one hospital visit that whole weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Who went to the hospital?
It wasn't me.
It was not.
We won't give his first name. Huff. I believe you guys have met Huff.
Yeah,
he was at my bachelor party.
Yeah, he oddly went to the hospital on Thursday night of the bachelor party.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. Nothing like walking into the hotel lobby and seeing your friend passed out in a pool of his own sick.
Jesus.
Surrounded by EMTs. So that was a hot start.
Good way to start the weekend.
Hot start,
What did he do?
Oh, go ahead.
What happened to him?
Well, he had been kind of he'd been avoiding partaking for I think 6 months, and you know how it is. They found out at your bachelor party. It's like we started with Van Winkle, a couple shots of that, and then we started with, hey, we're going to give you free shots of this, free shots of that, and You know,
That didn't go well for him.
Some
Didn't
can't
end well
hang.
for him.
It didn't. Yeah, it went well for him, but to Tim's point, it didn't end well.
Oh, I see.
He then ended up looking like Tim's frozen screenshot right now.
Well, and the best part of it was, and I've never felt like such an asshole in my entire life, but he calls us at 7 a.m. and it's just me and my cousin. He goes, "Hey, can you come get me from the hospital?" I went, "Absolutely not. There's no way."
Good true friend.
Nope.
I was like, if I'm trying to pick you up from the hospital, I'm going to prison.
Paco walks in somehow in a hospital gown before he gets in there. No, just ass hanging out.
Colonoscopy wires just hanging out of his butt.
Yeah. That's just how I sleep. Isn't that where you
woke up like
isn't that
this.
where you put a CPAP?
Derek, can I just say, you are looking very svelte and quite sexy. Tim, how do you feel about that?
I'm extremely annoyed.
Yeah.
I'm extremely annoyed. Derek, we had a good thing going.
We did, and
We had a good thing going.
I tried to call you, Tim. I wanted to donate one of my chins to you.
The true doughboys.
And I would have been accepting it. Look at I'm always in the market for chins. Always in the market for chins. And to be honest, like the fact that you just did it and didn't even tell me about it,
You're right.
tantamount to raping.
I should have called and asked your permission. You're right.
Yeah, how dare you get healthy and get healthy for your wedding?
Well, I'm trying to keep up with Bill. He's just been a ravenous beast in the bedroom of late.
Well, I gotta say, Derek, if this whole marriage thing doesn't work out for you, my arms are always going to be open for you. At this
Oh my
point.
God,
you
Bill.
looking like that?
Oh my God.
Just you got options.
You know how to make a girl blush. You know how to make a girl blush.
All right, well, we're in week 2 of our Bond month of our 007 debut series where we're breaking down the first entries of all 6 Bond actors, but in reverse order. So this week we did 1995's GoldenEye starring Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
I gotta be honest, Pierce Brosnan in this.
Pierce Brosnan, guys.
Probably-
Pierce fucking Brosnan.
I say Brosnan.
Brosnan.
Brosnan. Yes.
Brosnan.
Thank you, Derek.
Bronson? Is it Bronson or Brosnan?
It's
Brosnan.
Brosnan. It is Brosnan.
Oh,
Boy,
I've been
look at
saying
me
that
just bringing us
wrong
right
my
back
whole
onto the
life.
rails.
Oddly, Derek is improving the show in some way right now.
Well, I will
Pierce
say, before we
Bro-
get too deep into this will likely be my first podcast that I'm 100% sober for. So who knows? All bets are off right now.
Brosnan.
Dead sexy in this movie.
He's
Dead
not doing
sexy.
it for me.
Yeah. Bill, if you don't think Pierce Brosnan's dead sexy, then you don't think you're dead sexy because you look a lot like Pierce Brosnan.
All right. Well, I mean, he was pretty handsome. I'll give you that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know look, a lot of it's just time difference, 90s, but like the hair was weirdly big and like the suit cuts were like super long and baggy and like everything about him. And he like, I know we're comparing him to like the modern age movies with what's his face now, but like he was not fit. Like he was scrawny as hell. Like, it just, I don't know.
He's got a runner's body.
I feel like Pierce Brosnan probably smells like the set of a Cool Water commercial. You remember those cologne commercials? I feel like he's probably one of the best smelling humans on the planet.
I agree with that. I think he smells like rich mahogany, a lot of whiskey, which I think those are 2 good smells.
Very musky.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the movie, though? My initial thought is it's not that good.
No, it's not. It's really not.
I felt like I could have written the dialogue in this movie because I feel like 90% of it was bad dick jokes. And I was there for it. I mean, that part of it I thoroughly enjoyed.
That was the good part.
Yeah, that was the only good part. The physics in this movie were insane.
Oh, they were insane, yeah. When you said dialogue, I was kind of like, I don't remember any of the dialogue. It was all just like throwaway dialogue.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It was all like oddly unattractive sexual innuendo that just kind of made you want to just,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I mean, whatever. Spy stuff, I'm going to fuck you. Spy stuff, I'm going to fuck her. Spy stuff, dick joke. That's all it was.
It's just like it's also like just so outrageously over the top with like what he's able to get away with. You know, the armor, the plot armor, like just running through like open alleyways, and he's getting shot at, and there's bullets ricocheting everywhere, and he doesn't even get hit once. He drives a tank through the middle of Russia, and like because that's what a secret agent does. I don't know. It's just it's
the funniest part about that tank scene, and I'm sure we'll mention this again, but the funniest part about that tank scene is that there was a sneaky tank scene. Like when they were getting on the train and he kind of like snuck up in the tank on the bridge. I was like, this is like the equivalent of a tank tiptoeing.
No, I love that the tank was doing like power slides through downtown.
Drifting. He's fucking drifting through St. Peter's.
It was like Tokyo Drift, yeah.
St. Petersburg Drift.
Yeah. I think the nostalgia for the video game is what's kept this movie in high regard, because anybody who's not seen this movie in a while, try and rewatch it. We've been trying to record this episode for like 4 weeks. I never went back to rewatching this movie. I watched it in like 10-minute increments over like a 4-week span.
Well, now, Max, did it take you so long to record because you were just trying to convince me to come on? Is that what this was?
Sure.
The big draw, Derek.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys
100%.
enjoyed those sponsors because they are fucking gone.
Oh yeah. Well, when you do a Billy Mays and a Sarah McLachlan style commercial for
Harry Balls.
For Harry Balls, typically the sponsors aren't going to like that.
I want to feel like my balls are in the arms of the angels.
Tim's screen is still frozen.
Oh,
Not
it's
for
not
me.
for me.
Looks great.
Really? Oh, of course it's for
I just
me
want
then.
to jump through this screen and taste that tongue.
We technically have a guest on, so I need to have some kind of technical errors here.
That's fair.
Let's just
fair.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm recording, so that's good. All right, bye, Derek. All right.
I was just turning down the AC a little bit, guys. I'm bringing so much energy. I'm getting a little sweaty. That hasn't changed. Still a sweaty guy.
So before we get into the movie, you guys want to know a little background about why Pierce Brosnan.
It's just not a very hard name.
It's
Brosnan.
really not.
You know,
I want it to be Bronson, like Charles Bronson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about Timothy Dalton, so I want Dalton and I want Bronson.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Timothy Dalton, he played Bond for the 2 movies prior to that in the 80s. They're going to be filming the 3rd movie in May of 1990, but then MGM got into a lawsuit with the producers, which lasted about 5 years. So even then, Dalton was still ready and scheduled to be Bond as late as April of 94, but he only wanted to do 1 more movie of his 3-picture deal, and the producers wanted him for another 4 or 5, so they mutually agreed to part ways.
That's how they ended up with Brosnan.
See? Yeah. Brosnan.
I think he's definitely top 3 Bonds.
Who's that?
Brosnan.
On what basis?
What's that?
I mean, which movie is good? If this is not
the
good.
best one.
Exactly.
Listen,
so that's what I'm saying.
Well, now part of this is just it being a product of the time it was shot in, right? Like the terrible fucking soundtracks. Like, I mean, the terrible the
No real
overt,
enemy.
The overt over sexuality of the entire movie, which again, totally on board for.
Yeah, I am too.
I think for him, he looks like Bond. It's just he's not getting a whole lot to work with.
No.
Like if they
That's
had
my
done,
point.
Yeah, like if they had done Casino Royale with him, like he would have done a great job. I think.
All right. I could see that.
It's just this movie's
That's
just
my
so
whole
fucking
point.
corny.
Like, he's like a good player on a bad team.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, correct
He's
me
like
if
an
I'm
all-star
wrong.
point guard on the fucking, like, the Seattle Supersonics. Are they still even a team?
They're
They're
not.
not, right?
Much to
There you go.
Seattle's chagrin. But no, I think, again, this was around the same time that Batman and Robin was shot. So, I mean, we want to talk about great films.
I was actually thinking that, like, it's like kind of the equivalent. Like the Schumacher Batman movies is like the Brosnan movies compared to like the Chris Nolan Batman movies and the Daniel Craig, like Casino Royale. It's like they both kind of came out around the same time. Did a completely new reboot. It was gritty. It was great.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem too is just get it like like we talked about, it's not an R-rated movie at all. You know, we are not the target demographic, and I have no like nostalgia watching this movie. So, I mean, I love the N64 game, but like I couldn't tell you, I probably haven't seen this movie since like, I don't know, for like 20 plus years. Yeah. So maybe if I had enjoyed it as a 12-year-old boy when I was like the target demographic, I would like it more. But
that's the only thing that kept me interesting is when I go, oh, that was one of the levels in
yes, exactly.
James Bond.
Yeah.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that kept me interested.
I'm the same way. Like every time those opening credits, I mean, I have started watching this no less than 5 times. This is the first time I finished it, and it was because I knew I had to.
Right.
It's a chore to watch this movie.
It was.
It really was. Like I tried to get through it last night, and Max, I got through like 45 minutes. And
That's where I got stuck.
I just can't fucking do it. Like I can't. And so, I mean, watching it the second half today wasn't that bad, but yeah, I'm the same way. Every time I see those opening credits, all I think about is the game and how I used to have the fucking cheat code of using Odd Job with slaps only. Always won. 100% of the time you won.
All right, should we get in? Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, no, just one more pet peeve of mine. One more pet peeve of mine.
Let's hear it. Keep it coming.
I gotta lean in close here.
One more thing.
The fucking, like, murder sex scene in the Russian baths. Like, come on. Just make this a real movie and make that towel come off that woman. You know what I mean? Like, why is that towel stuck to her like it's super glued? It's like,
because it probably was.
She probably was, right. But that's bullshit because this woman's about to murder James Bond and she's like having an orgasm while she's doing it. The least you can do for me is make that towel get ripped off. So there's fucking titties flapping everywhere, fucking butt cheeks. All right, I'm gonna be back in 5 minutes.
We're gonna have a Snickers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have a Snickers.
All right, let's get into it. So the first thing we see is the gun barrel intro, accompanied by some really shitty techno music, which everyone hated. So they then went back to the classical music after this.
Boom, boom,
Not good.
No, and honestly, arguably this sequence of him like sneaking into the fucking this Russian nuclear facility is the best scene in the whole movie. Like it could arguably be the best scene in the whole movie.
It was not to mention too, it was a 722-foot bungee jump off of that dam. That was actually real, which is pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Yeah.
Puncast.
Where's Preble when you need him?
Which, hey, speaking of podcast, that's all this fucking movie was. But my only note about that jump or whatever was how majestic of a rappel it was into a Russian bathhouse, a military-grade Russian bathhouse, because he instantly went right into the toilet, which is a great place to start. I mean, I would want to shit after a jump like that.
I mean, he's definitely got to clean his pants out. I have to clean my pants out.
Yep, so we get the cold open set in 1986 USSR at the Archangel Chemical Plant, where 007 and 006, played by Sean Bean, plan on destroying the Soviet weapon facility. But 006 is captured and killed by this bad general who I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm never going to say it, leading to Bond slowly walking behind a cart full of chemicals onto a conveyor belt where he shoots them out, just kills a bunch of dudes. Then he gets into a plane, gets kicked out of the plane, so instead he jumps on a motorcycle, dives off a cliff into the now free-falling plane, and is eventually able to fly to safety, just as his Playmobil miniature chemical plant set blows up.
All of that. You guys really jump ahead. You guys really jump ahead now. So I'm going to be a fucking train wreck on this, keeping up with my notes.
Dude, 3 minutes. The bombs... He had 3 minutes to do all of that.
All that shit.
He dropped it from 5 minutes and 37 seconds, pressed one button, it was like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what I loved.
I didn't
like
know
the
how
3
that
minute. There's a 3 minute button. Like Q was like, all right, 007, this is the time set, and this is the 3 minute button. Why do you have a 3 minute button? You'll see.
And I loved that one squeaky wheel as he was.
Yeah.
That was so fucking good.
Also, he was clearly open to like half of the people by the time he got by the time he got to the edge of the conveyor belt. So like he was almost fully exposed to the entire all the troops.
A full semicircle of AK-47s.
These are professionally trained fucking shooters. They should have been able to get him right there and then.
All right. Let's just really give them the benefit of the doubt that they don't want to risk firing the gun and blowing up one of the cans. You got like 50 people just walk up to him. You can walk to him.
Yeah.
There is no reason preventing your legs from transporting you to him and grabbing him with your hands. The hands that you were given by God. Why do you need to shoot him or just watch him walk across the room?
Well, even if you're going to lose a couple of guys, the Russians are notoriously known for valuing their own people, right? So
he turned around and shot his own man.
Yeah, they killed one of the young guys in that scene.
Like, send that guy. Instead of shoot him, send him.
Just throw his limp body at him. Just knock over all the canisters.
We know why they didn't walk up there, Bill. They're all drunk. Everyone in Russia is drunk 100% of the time. If any other one of those guys walked up, they just would have stumbled their way, tripped over a couple cans of like spray paint. And it just would have been a disaster,
I also would very much like to know what is the deal with this canister storage system where he can just shoot an AK-47 and 15,000 come crushing out of the wall all of a sudden. And there's a random conveyor belt that leads out to the airport. What the fuck is this room?
And those didn't just fall out. They were thrust out.
Yes.
At a very, very high rate of speed.
There was propulsion coming from them. Yeah.
It's like a New Year's celebration. The balloons are dropping from the ceiling.
I mean, and from that moment on, for the rest of this whole scene, the physics make no fucking sense at all. None at all.
Is there any possible way that a human body could fall faster than the airplane and catch up to it?
An actively descending airplane.
Yeah.
Or
possible.
But even before we get to that, Bill, the fact that a human man can run down an airplane as it's taxiing for takeoff.
Also true.
Yes.
Also
On foot.
true. And meanwhile, he's running on the airport. He's running down the runway with, again, like 50 people all armed, all shooting at him. There is no obstructions whatsoever anymore.
He's running straight.
Yes.
He's not like zigzagging, trying to escape bullet fire.
And then for some unknown reason, the Russian general just holds up his hands and tells everyone to stop because apparently we're just going to watch to see if he can pull it off. That's amazing. Amazing.
Well, I think he thought, well, you can't hit him for fucking 10 feet. He gets down there. No
Just let
fucking
him go.
shot. Just let him go. He's got to come back at some point.
See if he kills himself jumping off the edge. Well, let's just see how this plays out.
You know what? I think he deserves escape at this point.
That Russian general, though, probably the best cast person in this entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, that guy is a drunk Russian general. For sure. He was like sweaty.
Failed his way to the top, too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's also the butler in the third Indiana Jones movie in that Nazi castle that Harrison Ford like knocks out.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just remember looking, I'm like, it's that guy. He's the one, he's like, if you're the Duke, then I'm Mickey Mouse. And then he's like, how dare ye? And he just like punches him in the face. Yep.
He's perfectly cast for like to be some horrible like political climber in a totalitarian regime.
Yeah. Yes.
Did anyone else notice that once Bond is in the plane, it immediately turns into the sound of a kamikaze World War II era Japanese bomber?
Yes.
And then as he planes it back out, it goes back to the sound of a normal fucking plane.
Wow.
Yeah. And the whole thing of him straightening out the plane is just him having like the death match with his own dick. Just
Been there, done that. Been there, done that.
Also, that mountain was way too steep for him to be able to just pull up and just get out to safety in time.
Yeah.
This is a single engine prop plane. This isn't a fighter jet.
No. And it's a Russian shitty single engine fucking plane too.
Yeah, did you hear that, Russia? Fuck you. Fuck you and your fucking planes.
I would really like to know, too, what the plane was doing. Because the plane was getting ready to take off.
Yeah.
What was it doing? Everybody else is inside looking for this guy.
The drunk.
And this one guy's just,
That just answers most of it.
Yeah. Stock answer for any Russian. Oh, they were hammered.
Completely hammered. He was making a booze run.
Why are they invading Ukraine right now? Oh, they're all hammered.
All right, so then we get the typical 007 title sequence with the song GoldenEye performed by Tina Turner.
Yeah, weird.
I honestly kind of fast forwarded through most of this song.
Oh, really? Max,
You-
do you know who wrote it?
Yeah, U2 wrote it.
Bono and the Edge. So, whew.
Which I don't understand because U2 was pretty big in 1995 and Tina Turner was kind of on her way out. It's like, why didn't U2 just do the song?
Yeah.
Like they're just coming off like 3 straight Grammy or 4 straight Grammy like award-winning albums. It's like, just have them do it.
Well, they were obviously in Africa saving children, Max.
It's true. They also did the Mission Impossible song the next year, the Tom Cruise one. They were on like a weird movie streak for a while there.
Talk about, a good movie. Mission Impossible, the first one. Fantastic movie. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do those at some point.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those front to back in its entirety.
Oh, they're good.
The first one's really good. Yeah.
The new ones are really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that, Bill? You afraid you're going to get roped into Scientology?
I mean, I just get lost in Tom Cruise's eyes every movie I watch. So, I mean, I probably have seen it, but I've just been mesmerized. The man is handsome.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of that, have you ever had your thetans measured?
I can't say that I have. No.
Oh, interesting. You'll have to come in for a reading, Bill.
Yeah, I'd love to. That sounds nice.
Fast forward 9 years later, the present day of 1995 in the Monaco Mountains, where Bond is accompanied by a female shrink assigned to evaluate his mental state, where he races against this mysterious hottie in a Ferrari, which ends with the doctor losing her mind before getting banged and tossed in the trash by old Jimmy B.
So funny. Okay, few things here, right? First of all, that Aston Martin DB5, fantastic car, one of the best looking cars ever made. Wonderful car of its time. That thing would have flown off a cliff if it was racing that Ferrari. There's absolutely no way that thing is keeping up with that fucking Ferrari. That's like state-of-the-art shit.
The champagne at least would spill inside of the dashboard at minimum.
Yeah. Second of all, probably the most, this is the most classic Bond, woman interaction since, Sean Connery, where he was just, literally puts this woman in danger against her wishes, and then just, smashes his face into hers.
Yes, yeah.
Plows her, and then just, leaves her on the side of the road. Fantastic.
The first attempt I made at watching this movie 4 weeks ago, I watched this scene with Sam, and she was sitting here watching it, visibly kind of you could tell she was irritated. And at the end of the scene, she was like, that's textbook sexual harassment. Driving, that is something you will find in psychological books at this point is driving aggressively and dangerously when somebody is asking you to stop to manipulate them.
Yeah. Surprisingly, it was not produced by Harvey Weinstein, too.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
Yeah. Well, it was effective, so tell Sam to,
yeah.
butt out.
Oh boy.
Also, this music in this scene, it's there's so much just porno music playing in the beginning of this, but especially in this scene in particular, it completely took me out of it. I was just like, what the fuck am I listening to? Which I have a little a 10-second snippet right here for you guys to enjoy.
It's what was that? What was that band? Was it Power Supply? That just awful 80s band?
Just Windows, Casio, default music. It's what the fuck is this?
That's literally the music you see two strung out porn actors saying, "Would you like a pizza?" and the woman says, "I hope it has a big sausage on it."
I think it's more of 2 girls, 1 cup kind of music.
Oh no.
Max, what's that?
I don't-
What's that, Max?
What is it? I don't know. It sounds like this, though.
I don't really listen to the music in that. I'm too busy feverishly masturbating.
It's the implication.
Yeah.
It's the implication.
I will say though, it did get a genuine laugh out of me when the psychologist woman was like, "I like a spirited drive is next to the next woman," and then sees James Bond checking out Xenia and who's that? And he goes, "The next woman." I mean,
Yeah.
Such a dick.
such
Fantastic,
a thing to say. That was funny.
Yeah, the only thing they didn't show is that the first 5 minutes of the scene, there's just nobody in the front seat with him because she just pops up. He only has one hand in the steering wheel because he is forcing the head down with the other. All right, so then we find out that Bond is assigned the tail of the Ferrari hottie, who we learn is a former Soviet helicopter pilot named Xenia Onatop. So we get the first real look at Bronson as Bond wearing a slick tuxedo and ordering a vodka martini, shaken, not stirred.
Xenia Onatop.
Yeah.
That is an Austin Powers name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
a lot.
I think that Austin Powers also kind of ruined some of this stuff for me because like this was as over the top as some of the jokes in Austin Powers. So like this made this movie blur the line between is this a comedy or what's the goal here?
Well, my one note that I have here is that Bond is just a Tommy gun of dick jokes. Like, just constantly, just one after another.
Also, like last week we were talking about like the tuxedo sizes for Daniel Craig with his like massive traps. Again, like we were talking about the suits earlier. Did you notice how skinny Pierce Brosnan's neck is in this? Like, he has the neck of a cancer patient.
Yes.
He looks like
Derek.
Looks like a bobblehead.
Especially with how big his hair was. Big and puffy his hair was. His head looked massive on his little tiny body.
I'm not going to listen to this. He's a fucking sexy man.
Thank you, Tim.
He needs to loosen up that necktie, though. Jesus. Something. Anyway, so on top, she kills this frumpy Canadian Air Force admiral who Tim would be playing in this movie.
100%. Yes, that was Tim.
Oh my God. Literally my note is I say, I'm jumping forward just a tad. But I said the dead guy falls out of the closet. We get a close-up look at Tim's O face.
Yeah, exactly. That face is ridiculous.
Hey man,
giant teeth.
Out.
Yeah. All right, can we talk about the way she kills people? What is this? I don't know. She's strangling them by squeezing their abdomen with her thighs.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Crushes them like a watermelon.
Yeah. A lot of Kegels.
Yeah.
Not a thing, but I wish it was a thing.
Bill, I think she just fucks him to death.
I mean, that would be better. To be honest.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's just be real. If you're going to die, this isn't a bad way to die.
This is one of the better ways to die.
Yeah, this is a great way to die. This woman's kind of being merciful.
We can all agree she has an orgasm every time that she's doing that, right?
Oh, like
every time she kills violence, she just
like
gets off on it.
Wild orgasm. Which I've never seen, but I've never seen a female orgasm either. So
well, that's just it. That's just it. So I mean, there you go. I get to if I die this way, at least I get to do that one time before I die. Yeah, that'd be worth it.
You get to the pearly gates and you're like, "How'd you die?" And you're like, "I got hit by a bus." It's like, I went out giving a woman an orgasm.
The first woman in history getting an orgasm. It was me. I did it, and then I died.
Xenia, I can't breathe.
Oh my God!
I'm coming.
I feel like this movie is happening to me again.
Tim, that was too close.
That was really that face. Oh shit. Yep.
I have to. Okay, so my visceral reaction to these scenes. This is the same. I have the same feeling about when Garbles is like plowing that chick from behind, and yeah, I just like it's too realistic because then we all know that when we're fucking, we just look like just pathetic pieces of shit. You know what I mean? Like we think we're fucking stroking, we think we have a stroke like some porn star. No. We look like this guy who's like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I have a cramp, please.
And that's just when I'm doing missionary. I can't breathe.
It's Abby is just like pulling away just the flowing fluid, all the sweat.
Abby's looking up at Tim saying, "Me either."
You really need to lift your arms up, Tim.
Use your upper body strength. Oh God.
Yeah. On the top though, then she then kills a couple of pilots. She hijacks this new Tiger chopper, all while Bond is too late to stop her, and he gets arrested.
So, can we talk about that? This guy is doing a debriefing to a highly secured military personnel that you have to have credentials to get on the ship, and there are people 20 feet away just meandering by on canoes.
Yeah.
Shockingly unsecure because this girl got onto the ship and is just like, "Hey boys," pop pop, right? And then fucking James Bond just like almost gets into the helicopter by like
Just throwing his shoulder into people. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. This is what happens when the French do like military stuff. It's like,
Dude.
yeah, okay. The
At which
Maginot
point-
Line and this like. Sorry to digress, but I love how this whole thing was like, oh, the French were pissed the Australians wanted an American submarine. It's like, what the fuck is a French submarine? It's a fucking poodle that you put a brick on. You know what I mean? Why the fuck would they want that?
I mean, I love too that the French are such pussies that literally their soldiers' physiques could be mistaken for that of a woman.
Yeah, exactly. It could be mistaken for that of a woman, and they probably would have been like, wow, what a manly soldier we have walking there.
Great posture.
Yeah,
Thank God we don't allow women to our military.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
So then we cut to Siberia, where Onatop and the general from the Cold Open who killed 006 arrive at the Space Weapons Control Center for a surprise inspection of the new satellite weapon system called GoldenEye. But it's a trap! And Onatop kills everyone in the facility, leaving a snail trail of jizz in her wake. And then as they activate the satellite, causing a massive EMP, you get a Mortal Kombat Raiden-like zap across the land, killing everyone nearby, and also causing several more miniatures toys to explode.
Those are terrible, terrible special effects. I mean, like, especially for practical stuff, they didn't try and go like CGI. It was awful. You could absolutely 100% tell that those were like miniatures.
Yeah, you can see like a 500-foot long Nike shoe in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you could, Bill, with all due respect, I would beg to differ. One of my favorite parts of this scene was the CGI. Those CGI jets, the big space dick laser. So good.
Good
So
point.
good.
Forgot about the space laser, yeah.
Did Bezos base his spaceship off of that laser? It looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
it does.
It's totally a dick, Paco. Kind of a stubby dick at that,
Which, Tim, why do you think I identified it as a dick so rapidly? Which I did have one note that I needed some feedback from you guys on. I said, of course, the password is knockers. And then I had a little bit of introspective thinking, and I thought to myself, you guys, am I Boris? Am I this guy?
I don't know. I don't think your pen twirling game is as good as Boris's. Because clearly he practices that like 15 hours a day.
You know, that was like
annoying.
a prerequisite for the they said, come in. We're going to let you audition. Show me your pen stuff.
Oh, that's the only criteria for that character. He
Because
was the most annoying character in this
he's-
whole movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alan Cummings isn't a bad actor either. It's again just he wasn't doing his best job of what he was working with in that character.
Yeah. Yep. No.
Not good. Nah. All right. Well, speaking of, we're introduced to him, the corny computer programmer Boris, played by Alan Cummings, as well as his too hot to be a mid-90s tech programmer Natalia, who's able to escape from Onatop unnoticed, only to be set up by Boris and captured several minutes later.
All right. So, first of all, Xenia, this like psychopathic orgasms every murder she has, like just sees the vent as that, and she's like, "Oh, I'll just shoot the roof. All set. They're dead. I don't need to check. What would I need to check for the body for? They're dead. I shot the roof. We're all set." And then somehow Natalia escapes this like remote secret place on Sled Dog with no Arctic gear. That's
That's
what
Siberia.
We're all good with that. All right. Sure.
We're right next to a super high tech, weapons facility, and we're just fortunately for Natalia, the chemist left his fucking Iditarod dog pack tied up to the hitching post outside to allow her to escape. Yeah, it was. Oh boy,
There's some like Soviet penny pincher who was like saw the cost of this facility and they're like, well, we can't afford to have you trucks for you. Well, how are we going to get back and forth? We have to use sled dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, dogs. They double as food.
So then we cut to London, where Bond meets with the newly appointed M, played by Judi Dench, who immediately shoves Bond into a locker, calling him a sexist, misogynistic dinosaur and a relic of the Cold War, before debriefing him on the GoldenEye attack and instructing Bond to investigate the link between the attack on a top and a mysterious Russian crime syndicate named Janus.
All right, big problem with this scene for me is like Judi Dench comes in and is kind of badass. She's kind of cool in this. I enjoy her in the scene, and they completely cut the legs out from under her in that the only two assumptions that we've seen her make is, one, the helicopter wasn't important. Well, it turns out the helicopter was important. And two, GoldenEye can't be real. Oops, GoldenEye is real. So like Judi Dench comes in here and is kind of like big dick swinging and like, but I also get everything wrong. So
folds her arms.
So take that, James.
How you like that?
What I like that she comes at him and is basically like, listen, I can end you. Like you're just a piece of piece of military equipment to me. And then as he's leaving, she's like, but I kind of want to fuck you and don't die.
She's where that crazy Russian woman learned how to do the choke someone out with your legs thing.
That was Judi Dench, but the actual actress, the woman, not the character. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Judi Dench taught her how to death come.
It's called denching it.
Yeah. Let's get some. Bend over, let me dench you real quick.
Give me some dench.
I'm going to dench the shit out of you.
Let's get that big stinky dench.
You up.
Hey, Bill, you having fun yet?
I'm enjoying that. I like the dench. The dench is good.
The dench stench, baby.
So then Bond, he meets with Q, who gives Bond a laser wristwatch, a belt loaded with cable, and an exploding pen.
The foot missile was fucking incredible.
I love the hijinks in the Q lab.
God. The foot missile was probably my best moment in the movie. So I never made it this far. They wheel this guy in. But when do you practically use that in the field, right? Like if you're a secret agent sneaking around, how are you going to use a cast missile?
Yes. Excellent question, Derek. How are you secretly? It's not like a cast like air dart that you just like and nobody hears it. It's like a fucking missile off of a goddamn airplane. You're not secretly launching that thing at anyone.
Oh, that's an expendable agent. That's an agent that they were going to terminate anyways. And they're just like, all right, Brian, shoot your fucking cast missile off. And then he turns around after he shoots and he's like, all right, let's get out of here. You're gone.
The first four guys who tried it out, their foot just exploded.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit! I forgot to make it detach from the foot.
Just prior to the phone booth whoopee cushion part,
I did like that too.
Did you notice that Q, like when he's describing all the shit he's giving him, he's clearly reading off a cue card?
Yeah.
The motherfucker did not learn his lines at all.
Old. He's so fucking old. At this point, he'd already been playing Q since 1963.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And he played him for another 10 years.
He's played him until 99, until the last movie with Bronson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he carry him off set?
Bronson.
Bronson Arroyo.
Also, I looked him up too. His name's Desmond Llewellyn or Leland. God damn, I can't say any fucking names. Anyway, he was a Nazi POW camp for 5 years.
Damn.
World War II. Really? Yeah. So maybe that's why he's not reading. He just can't look anybody in the eye.
To say I wouldn't learn my lines either. Fuck.
No.
Desmond, can you do that line again? I was in a Nazi POW camp for 5 years.
No, good enough.
It works.
I think that was a good take. Good take.
Yep, I think it was great. I especially liked when you weren't looking at anybody.
The joke with the sandwich landed. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Don't touch that.
My lunch.
It's my lunch. Looked like a nice sandwich too.
Yeah, it did look like. Yeah, I was hungry watching the scene too.
That was kind of what I said. I was like, man, I haven't had like a real good like sub like that in a while. And by that I meant since lunch.
At least 2 hours.
Yeah.
So then in St. Petersburg, Bond is introduced to the brash CIA agent Jack Wade, who sets up a meeting between Bond and a former KGB agent turned gangster, Valentin Zhukovsky. I'm going to fuck that up.
I think you actually got that one right.
Well, I'm going to call him Hagrid from now on because it's played by Robbie Coltrane. So he's Hagrid.
So can we also talk about that any man who is married to a woman and has the need to get a tattoo of that woman, there's no chance that woman's name is Muffy. And if it is Muffy, I don't want to know her.
Well, I can understand. I guess my point is that if you are with a woman named Muffy and she wants you to get a tattoo, I could understand moving to Russia to get away from her. Also, can we talk about how Minnie Driver was the singer on that
cameo?
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah, I think this is before she had done anything. I mean, it's like 2 years before Good Will Hunting.
Yep.
And she's also like an actual singer too. So, I mean, she was like purposely singing like shit in that scene.
Yeah.
Nothing turns me on like Russian cowgirls.
Russian cowgirls with humongous heads.
Works.
That is like a size 9 hat.
The Family Guy joke.
Yeah. Yes. That
Her
poor
head's
mother.
like yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah, like what is it in the scene? Like they can't even shoot the whole scene with her head.
Yeah, they can't even frame her in. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't frame her.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, so Hagrid, he's initially a little upset with Bond, as we learned, because James fucked his girlfriend and then also shot him, giving him a permanent limp. But then he agrees to set up a meeting with the leader of Janus after he's bribed with money and explosives. And we also learned that the leader of Janus is the son of Soviet traitors who collaborated with the Nazis. And they were given refuge by England, only to be deported back to the USSR and executed by Stalin.
Who wasn't executed by Stalin?
Yeah, right?
For real.
Nerds.
Stalin even executed himself.
We get a lot of explanation, a lot of exposition or whatever in this scene. Can I ask you, was when he actually gets the meeting with Janice, did Valentine have any role in that? Because he got in a fight with Xenia in the bathhouse and then kind of kidnapped her and had her take him to him.
Yeah, it was kind of like a throwaway.
Yeah. Or Xenia was the person he was going to be meeting with for the intro, and then he didn't know that they already had history.
Okay. Maybe that's what it is. All right.
Because earlier Bond just said it, didn't he just announce his name like just at that casino or whatever? He's just like, yeah, fuck it. My name's James Bond.
Yeah.
Cover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
might be mixing that up with, whatever. Anyway.
We're papering over the most important part of this scene, and that's a good, healthy dose of domestic violence.
With the
or as I
bathhouse
called
fight?
it, MMA sex.
Oh my God. I'll tell you what. It definitely revved my engine.
It's the yells.
Yeah.
She's really selling it.
Yeah, it definitely revved my engine. Yeah. I'm going to have to maybe see if Abby wants to, try it out.
Can I throw you on some just super hot rocks in the steam room?
Tim, you are not up for that kind of athletics.
Well, I want Abby to do most of the work.
So you want Abby to just kind of throw herself around the room and screaming?
Yeah, I guess this isn't really going to work out, is it?
Tim needs to install a pulley system in order to make this happen.
Abby ends up just floating around the room like a ghost.
Oh, this is so hot. Scream louder. Yeah, and then what happens? Then she takes him to the meeting spot, and then Bond just judo chops her unconscious in the car.
Dude, that was the best. I thought the domestic violence was in the rear view. Not so fast.
It literally was in the rear view though, because we see it through a mirror.
Judo chop.
Judo trip.
Honestly, the first Austin Powers is essentially just this movie.
It really is.
It is.
I mean, Austin Powers came out the next year. I think that Mike Myers watched this movie and he's like, oh, I already got it. I'll just take the script.
Exactly.
I can do that.
Yeah. Much better, too. Yeah, so Bond, he's walking around the Soviet statue graveyard when, oh my God, 006 is alive, and he's the leader of Janus, and he looks like Two-Face. Whoever would have thought that Sean Bean would end up being the villain in this movie?
Unbelievable. Really did not see that coming.
It's only the second movie we've done on the podcast where Sean Bean's a villain.
I don't really like Sean Bean's, like, I don't understand this. James thought Sean Bean got shot in the head.
Right.
And then Sean Bean's like, you only gave me 3 minutes. No, I didn't give you any time because I thought you were shot in the head. You are not in the calculation.
What a recovery.
Once again, because you were shot in the head.
Yeah, thank God only half of my face got burned and nothing else.
Right. Yeah, seriously. It's like, dude, you got out of there in pretty good shape.
No shit. No shit.
Get that skin graft back on. You'll be good.
How did he not die from the falling cascade avalanche of barrels? You know, speaking of which, that should have just like 13,000 pounds of metal falling on him. Probably should have done him in.
It's because Sean Bean can survive any kind of fall. That's why, Bill. We'll see later.
Yeah. God.
All right. So after a little monologuing, Bond is shot with a dart to the neck, where he wakes up next to he wakes up in front of Natalia, who's screaming in the back seat of the stolen chopper. But Bond's able to hit the eject button right before the chopper explodes.
It's just, it's so absurd. It's so absurd. Why did they need to shoot him with a dart and put him in a helicopter that's going to shoot itself? Just fucking shoot him with a gun. Shoot him with a gun, guys, and then you can put him in the same goddamn helicopter, have the same rigmarole that makes it look like he stole it. Fine. Not a terrible plan. But just have him dead when you put him in the helicopter already. Makes no
Austin
sense.
Powers, again.
Yeah.
I have a gun in my room. I go upstairs, I bring it down, I shoot him in the head, it's done.
Scott, okay.
You just said it. Idiot, Scott.
Yeah.
My first note there was, what a miserable sounding woman. This is the one he should have beaten.
Well, I'll tell you what, waking up to complaints like that, yeah, it's like, all right, honey, we're not going to work out, all right? But, like, my other thing, too, is I don't think military equipment has, like, self-destruct buttons. Like,
they had it, like, self-locked on itself for some weird reason. Like, the missile shot out, and then it, like, came back, and it was going to shoot and, like, blow up the... It just fucking shoot the guy. You guys have guns.
Can you do that? Can you make a missile do, like, a U-turn and come back to the ship that fired it? I don't know.
Well, clearly, because it happened in this movie.
But
yes. Yeah, you can, Bill.
And then apparently the eject button is within reach of where your head can just wobble and hit it. Seems like probably a problematic area to put it in a helicopter that could experience turbulence or something. I don't know.
And why was the woman fully clothed? You know?
Also, huge plot hole. Yeah.
What's going on here? It doesn't make any sense. At least have her in her brown panties.
Yeah. So they get captured immediately, and they're interrogated by the Russian defense secretary, where Natalia tells them that Boris is working with the bad general, who now has access to a second GoldenEye. And then he just arrives on cue, killing the secretary and kidnapping Natalia after she falls through some sort of unexplained hatch door in the archive room.
How do you let the guy that literally you just were told committed a severe war crime, you let him pick up a pistol that is right in front of you? What the fuck?
Yep. Also, why did the general throw the gun back at Bond?
I don't know. That whole sequence is flabbergasting.
Like, what? It's so funny. It's just like he throws the gun at Bond. I'm like, oh, is he like a good guy or something? And he's like, you killed him, and this is going to be the plan. It's like Bond could just be like, okay, cool, and then just like shoot the general right there and then.
Right. Well, because
like,
I don't think in Russia.
Like,
I was just saying, I don't think in Russia that they're really all that concerned about like crime scene evidence and fingerprints,
right?
You know,
or proof of anything.
Yeah, ballistics. I don't think they really care about those things.
Logic.
So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Especially when it comes to a British spy.
Yeah, exactly right.
I don't think
your gun back, sir.
I don't think you really have to explain why you're holding the gun. You just say that guy's dead with his gun, and here he is right here. Done.
He's also dead.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a general.
Right, yes.
And some drunk soldier's going to be like, yes, sir.
Also, I do love Pierce Brosnan's duck face whenever he fires his gun. Do you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it couldn't see it over the volume of the incredibly awesome bullet ricochet sounds.
So mad.
Oh my god!
Ricocheting off of it's not like it's like solid metal. Like this is like it's got like hole. It's like wire fence. There's holes all through it. Why is it ricocheting off of everything? It's a great. Yeah, doesn't make any.
It's ricochets from like spaghetti western sounds.
Yeah,
like those are like spaghetti western ricochets.
And then he uses his tensile strength belt to do like a Spider-Man swing through, I don't know, like a window or something. I mean, fucking, I don't know. Good
And
time.
he clearly lands on top of a pad. Yeah, he lands on top of a big padded mat. And then you cut to the next scene. It's like, oh no, that's the canvas top of a Jeep. No. that's not gonna work.
Fuck you. That's what it is. Fuck you.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. Literally, as I turned it off, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. We're canceling this week.
Oh, there are multiple points where I like pause the movie. It's like, what? An hour and 20 minutes left.
Yes.
I can't do this.
Yes.
I can't do this.
This took me 2 weeks to watch, pretty much. And I got it done in the last 2 days.
We're not over-exaggerating when I said that this has been 5 weeks in the making.
Yeah.
Like, we literally canceled this episode every single week for like a month.
Yeah, for sure.
With no objections by anybody.
Yeah, and most of the time there were really no conflicts. We were all just like, we don't want to do it.
I've got 20 minutes left in this movie and I just don't have it in me.
Nah, I just don't want to do it. That's cool. Yep. So then we get this scene. So Bond, he then steals a tank and chases after Natalia, where he plows through countless city blocks before he somehow sneaks away undetected to this train yard.
Well, and the fact that through this whole thing, none of the civilians are losing their shit about a tank driving down a public fucking street.
Right.
That's all I need to know about ever fucking visiting Russia. Ever. I am good, man. Like that. I mean, all this chaos is happening, sure, but everybody's just meandering normally along the street side. Whatever.
Yeah, the lady with the baby carriage, she just keeps on going across the street. She's like, they'll stop.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck it.
Their only thing
Please
is,
hit me.
I thought tank fights were on Tuesdays.
I guess this is what democracy's like?
Yeah. And there was like 2 cops that responded to this tank battle. And then, like I said, he just like fucking tank tiptoed his way through the city to the train station and was like, I'm going to sneak up and figure out where they're going. Dude, you're in a tank. They would have turned around and been like, there he is in this tank.
There's a tank. Yeah, 100%.
Or you could be blind. Just turn your ear to the street. Be like, I think the sound's coming from that way.
It sounds like a tank is coming that way.
And Bond just like ducks down in. You'll never see me. It's like a 2-year-old.
Which, Tim, I had something I wanted to address with you here because I obviously missed a lot of shows, and at least the shows I've been on, that is the first hood ornament kill I've ever seen. The big moose or whatever it was on top of the tank that falls on the 2 police cars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but what kind of percentage would you give that?
That's a low percentage kill because that's a pretty intricate kill.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some choreography involved in that. But I mean, as far as like, if you pull it off, like I'm going to say 90% of the time, that works every time.
So people at home, it's a low percentage. 90% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah. That's some indisputable math right there, folks.
I also love when they say, like, there's a point where the bad general guy is like, use the papa, that's what it's for. And then immediately they cut to him just like ramming people with it, including what is supposed to be like a concrete pillar, just like folds over like foam. It's like a balloon, and like they hit it with, but like, oh, well, that looks stupid. They probably should have edited that out.
My inflatable columns, no!
And apparently Russian tanks are completely indestructible to the point where they can just drive through entire buildings without any kind of problem until they hit a Ukrainian farm. And then that's kind of the end of them.
Well, and then you've got the soldiers on top of all that shit. They're firing their AK-47s at this tank that has just driven through a fucking house. Like, what?
Let's be real. Derek touched on this at the beginning. Russia's military strategy has never been about competence. It's purely been about numbers thrown at a problem.
Yep. That's how they play Risk.
Yep.
Also, just from last week to this week, so Daniel Craig's Bond, he kills a terrorist and then he shoots a gas tank to escape, and he gets like fucking chewed up by M. And then in this, Bond is using like a killdozer, just plowing through like countless offices and like apartments. He probably killed like 500 people.
Oh,
Zero
easily.
repercussions of what he did. Again, like we said earlier, he's a secret agent with his head sticking out of a tank just shooting people.
It would be not just like forget. Let's just give Bond the deaths of civilians. Who cares about Russian civilians? They're he kills we watch him kill hundreds of Russian soldiers. That is a very big international incident. You can't just go around like murdering platoons of people, and be like, well, I'm undercover, so I get diplomatic immunity. Thanks.
Well, I think realistically he could put it on them, because for every one shot that James Bond takes in this movie, there are countless Russian soldiers shooting thousands of rounds at him.
That's true.
Thousands, and he never once gets hit. But they've got you got 20 guys lined up with AKs. Bond's got his Walther PPK, just dances around a column, just pew, pew.
Kills like 8
Takes out-
people with one shot.
Yeah.
Takes out an entire battalion.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just slip on the ice and just like all of them just break their necks all in a row like fucking dominoes.
Right.
No, they're like all these troops are like the like Will Ferrell and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. When Will Ferrell's like shooting a gun, he's just like doing this, just like clinking and tossing his head left and right, just whipping it back and forth. All right, so then we have the most Soviet-looking train ever that also serves as Alex's evil lair, to which he tells Natalia that he and James used to run train on all the same girls before Harvey Weinsteining this poor woman. But Bond is able to derail the bad guys with his tank, killing the bad general right as Alec and Onatopp escape via chopper, leading to the good guys escaping in the nick of time with the help of Q's laser watch. Then they make out.
Honestly, we now know the reason why 006 is so pissed off. He did not share women with James Bond. It was basically like these women and James Bond like burst into the room like Archer from the show Archer. It's like, what's up, 006? I'm going to plow your mom. Like, plowed him right over the top of him. You know what I mean?
I wrote down that line because it was, just so unsettling. It says, James and I shared everything. And I mean everything.
Oof. Yeah.
Do you think the question can be posed? Did they obviously they shared a lot of holes. Did they share each other's?
Oh, no.
The vibe of it certainly indicated.
Bill, let's have you dive in here.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I have to. I think so. It seems like there was a little more than just like you betrayed my country kind of stuff going on there. So
some long, cold missions in Russia together.
Is ramming a tank with a train a good strategy?
In this movie, yes.
Yeah.
Ram it. Really? You sure about that? Is that a good idea?
Things seems pretty indestructible.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so Natalia, she's also able to track Boris's location to Cuba, where they're shot down by an underwater missile, and they crash land in the jungle before passing out. A little bit before that, go ahead.
Oh, I was kind of going to address that. I was like, but I do love how she's like, I'll make the travel arrangements. And then they're just like, it seems like they took like a 2-week vacation just fucking before,
She had enough time to get a bikini.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she did.
It's like, the world's almost got to, we're trying to prevent like the end of the world. She's like, well, let me just get a bikini first.
Just hang out on this like beach bungalow area for a while. Why not? Beautiful
and
sunset.
She tries to be like, oh, you and your men, you just don't, you're a hammer and you think everything's a nail. Just like smashes faces again. She can't help it.
Yeah. I wrote that down. Forced makeout that turns to sex because James Bond doesn't take no for an answer.
It's not.
It's only sexual harassment if you're ugly in the James Bond universe.
And the real world too.
Oh no.
It's only sexual harassment if you tell on me.
Hey, it's sexual harassment with me. I'm ugly. That's all I'm saying. But all I'm saying, you don't want to know what? Do you know a girl who, like, if Brad Pitt came into him and like just started making out with him, they wouldn't be like, "Ooh, fuck you." Know?
There's
double standard.
There's an old SNL sketch or skit with Tom Brady, and it's like a sexual harassment video. Yeah, it's just Tom Brady walks. He just doesn't have it. He just has tighty whities on and like a work shirt, and he just like goes up. He's like, "Hey, Kate," and just like grabs her tit and walks away. She's like, "Oh, Tom." And then Fern Armisen just like turns his chair over and looks at her, and she just calls HR.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God! All right. Where are we at?
I think we meet Wade. We're meeting Wade right now, right?
Wade?
Yeah. The CIA guy flies them the plane.
Cautionary tale about about what every other country thinks about America, which is a fucking 1,000% correct.
Uh-huh.
Elaborate, please.
I
watched this scene like a month ago.
Wade's like this like redneck. Hey, Jimbo, how's it going, buddy? Here's some booze. You mind if I take your car for a spin? How about that pussy you got with you? I can take that for a spin too. I mean, that's literally what every other country thinks the entire United States is. And they're fucking right.
I was going to say, are we not that?
Yeah, I think exactly. I love that he
see what's wrong. That's why I was confused.
He's confused, or he's concerned about Natalia's presence there. He's like, "Have you checked her out?" And Bond's only response is head to toe, and Jack Wade's just like, "All right, good enough for me."
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm only CIA.
Yeah, he's like Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Here's a $3 million plane.
Yeah.
Also, you guys notice the miniature plane when it gets shot? There's nobody in the plane and it's not moving.
I didn't see that. Oh my God.
It's like straight out like 1960. All right. So Bond, he wakes up right after, or right as Onatopp propels herself out of a chopper, drop kicking Bond to the ground, and then she begins a dry hump him to death. Mm-hmm. But then Bond, or Tim's just fucking licking his lips right now. But then Bond, he rehooks her restraints to the chopper, killing the pilot, which then leads to Onatopp getting railed into a tree, killing her in seconds. She always did enjoy a good squeeze.
Was she giving him a deadly titty twister? That's what it really looked like in that scene.
It seemed like it. Yeah, it seemed like it.
I'm gonna rip your nipples off.
and Pierce Brosnan's face was actually pretty spot on for if that was happening. It's like,
my nipples! What if you started saying that?
I don't like it.
My double titties!
Yeah, it was halfway between pain and coming, which I think is exactly what that whole thing was.
He's being killed, apparently. I still don't understand the physics of this, but okay, he's being killed by legs around his waist. And he's dying. That's it. And like he doesn't know how to get out of it. And then all of a sudden he's got an AK-47 in his hand. I don't know where that fucking came from, but it's now in his hands. And he's able to shoot at the helicopter that's like fucking, 100 feet away and kills the pilot. Is that what happened, Max? Because I didn't understand why the helicopter all of a sudden started flying away.
Yeah, he shot the pilot. I don't know where he got the gun though.
Okay, good times. It was great.
I guess there's just stray guns hanging out in Cuba in the jungle.
I believe it. That seems realistic.
I had another pun here though. Was after she died, would just the awesome powers of just them like shaking their head, like, no, it's not good enough. I guess she finally got some good wood. Looks like she went out on top. All right, that's good enough. Let's go.
That's good enough.
Okay. All right, so then we see the phallic GoldenEye rising out of the water with the bad guys planning to break into the Bank of London right before they launch an EMP blast to London, which will erase all the electronic records.
What a fucking awful, this is his elaborate plan this whole time, is he's just going to steal money and then kind of wipe out Britain's, electrical records.
Yeah,
awful.
What a nerd, dude. What a nerd.
It sucks. It's so I was really hoping for I'm gonna wipe out their nuclear power plant and it's gonna blow up or something. Give me something. Yeah, this is that's fucking
launch
pathetic.
The codes.
Yeah,
right. It's like this is 1995. They still have everything in just in files in paper still, and they also probably have backup files somewhere. Exactly. Like they have floppy disks. They're gonna be able to just get right back and running the next day.
Yeah.
So you're gonna wipe out their computers? I know, isn't it? Isn't it sinister? No, not really.
Not really.
Kind of gay.
It would be great if Bond said that. Yeah. Just has like a sour look on his face. He's like, it's kind of gay.
Wow. I killed a lot of people to stop this. I kind of feel bad for them now.
And then Sean Bean turns around to this henchman and he's like, hey, do you guys think this is gay? And they're all kind of like, they all kind of like kick. They all kind of like looking at the floor and like kicking.
God damn. I said I didn't want a bunch of yes men.
You're gay.
Yeah.
So in order for Natalia to hack into the computer program, Bond distracts the henchmen and plants a bunch of mines on the fuel tanks before getting captured. But the ex-00 agent Alex sees right through this and quickly disarms the bombs. But then stupid old Boris with his OCD clicking pens just picks up the grenade pen, activates a bomb, causing a huge explosion.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to do this, but now that we're back with Boris again, I'm reminded of something that I have to ask about from earlier. How is the riddle of you sit on it, but you can't take it with you? How does it make sense where the answer is chair? Because when you can move a chair, you can take a chair anywhere you fucking want. And also, how is that difficult? I don't understand. Like, I was really like, chair is the answer?
Well, right. Well, the third point being that, his other joke, they lead you to believe that, like, it's going to be something, like, grossly over-sexualized, right? That the answer to the first riddle was knockers, talking about tits and also, like, a door knocker.
Right.
And they're like, I love that she was trying everything. She was trying, like, literally, if you read the screen, it said arse instead of ass, which, how British can you get? But yeah, and Bond all of a sudden just looks over, chair. Oh, shit, yeah, you got it.
Because obviously, you can't move a chair. Chair can't go with you. That's impossible.
Yeah. Well, usually you don't sit in chairs when you're going from point A to point B in transportation either.
Makes no sense.
I hate to do this to you, Bill. It wasn't chair. That was their accent. It was Cher. The recording artist.
Cher, the recording artist. Yeah. Because of the British accents.
Yeah. And let's be realistic. The only answer to that riddle is my face.
Yeah, I feel like the next riddle would just be like, you can click it and you can write with it, but you can't erase it. A pen?
A pen?
It's like, how the fuck did you figure that out? It's like, you're holding one right now.
You just described a pen, so I said pen.
What?
You're smarter than I thought, Natalia.
Shit.
I do love in that scene. It was I watched this like an hour ago, so I'm up to date on this. Where Boris says like, she's like a second tier programmer. All she controls is the guidance system. Oh, kind of seems like an important thing to know about. Like, she could really mess with the satellite if she screwed with the guidance. Oh, she screwed with the guidance and it's going to crash? Seems like a problem, Boris.
I mean, I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, what is more important on a satellite than the guidance system?
Right.
Especially one that has a weapon attached to it.
Yeah. That's like being like, she's a second tier engineer. All she could design on this plane are the wings. Yeah. It's kind of important.
Also, Boris would have been able to get through all these codes a lot faster if he was actually typing with two hands instead of just clicking a pen with one the entire time. Who the fuck types with one hand?
Lunatics.
Drunk Russians.
Not programmers. Maybe drunk programmers. From
drunk Russians.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right, well.
I loved after the explosion went off.
Oh, we're not.
God damn it. You just said the explosion went off.
We are there. Go on.
Yes. Go fuck yourself.
It's been a long day.
Don't you try me, Max. But I love that after the explosion. Jesus Christ. Is this what it feels like, guys? Is this what it feels like to get interrupted? No, I love after the explosion went off, like, you get just a whole gaggle of phenomenal death screams. Just great fucking death screams.
Wilhelm screams all over.
Yep. Yep. Like, they must have had the soundtrack from like the 60s James Bond in this, with all like the ricochets and the death screams and the planes and shit.
Yeah,
I was thinking that too. I'm like, is this just like an homage to the older movies? Like, are people actually enjoying this right now by hearing these sound effects? Is this like a Connery thing?
Oh, maybe.
I bet they are. I bet they were back then.
Yeah.
And like there's this, we've talked about it before too, with like the Batman stuff. They're like people like that kind of generation of stuff. Like things like this weren't supposed to be very serious, and it was okay for them to be kind of silly and goofy. Maybe this wasn't catering to like 13-year-olds. Maybe it was catering to like 50 and 60-year-olds that were remembering the old Bonds.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
I bet if we get a touchstone to the older movies, we would enjoy this more, but we don't. We don't like the older movies, and this. The only part of the older movies I like is that movie where Roger Moore dumps that guy in a wheelchair into a smokestack.
So we then get the final boss fight on top of the GoldenEye Tower with a Pierce Brosnan stunt double running away from constant gunfire, eventually leading the Bond, dropping Alec from about 5,000 feet to his non-death. Then Bond jumps onto a chopper right as the GoldenEye explodes and falls on a screaming Alec, presumably killing him for real this time.
Maybe.
Again, this is like Will Ferrell's character in Austin Powers. He just can't die.
Yes. Yep.
I am not dead, but I am in a great amount of pain.
Very badly burnt. Oh, sir, can you please help me? You shot me. It's like several more gunfire shots. Why would you shoot me in the arm?
All I could think about during that fight where they were in that little tight room was the hand-to-hand combat between Tommy Lee Jones and Steven Seagal in Under Siege. It was so badly choreographed, but so enjoyable at the same time. And then you follow that up with a dope-ass ladder battle.
I'd written that down, though. It's like two 150-pound men fighting each other.
Yeah. The power slide on the ladder was, I would say, maybe the only cool part of that fight for me. That was kind of cool. Yeah. But
everyone knows featherweight boxing's the best.
They never fall down. It's awesome. Great.
Did you see the homage to Charles Manson on Sean Bean's forehead? He had the little cross, I like that.
Swastika?
Yeah, whatever it is. Same thing, right?
Same thing.
All right. Well, it's been fun, guys.
I'll be back in 2.5 years. Also, I even remember my first viewing of this movie when I was like 7 years old. Just me like rolling my eyes when Sean Bean didn't die from that fall. Just like, what the fuck?
Well, he hit.
Fuck out of here.
They make you think he's dead too, but he somehow wakes up from the dead for the rest of the satellite to fall on him.
Yeah.
I don't know why we needed that.
Stupid. Yeah, that was definitely just a producer note. Be like, well, we don't know if he's dead or not. It's like, I mean, he fell from like 3 miles in the sky. I think he's dead.
Right. Well, it felt like if someone should have come back, it should have been Famke Janssen, the whatever her role was.
On a top.
I forget. Yeah, on a top. It felt like she should have been the one to come back, right? Like she kind of got squeezed to death. And this guy falls from fucking 500 miles in the air. But it would be as believable as if Dave Chappelle fell from the plane in Con Air and survived that.
You mean Kobe Bryant?
Oh, no.
Yikes.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
Yikes.
What? What the fuck did I say?
Okay, well, to wrap up the movie. Boris, he gets smashed with a bunch of liquid nitrogen in a scene. I'm assuming it's just made for laughs. And then to wrap it up, Bond is about to enter Natalia, but he's cock-blocked by Jack Wade and about 100 Marines as the movie ends with the good guys flying away to safety.
That's not how this movie would have ended. He would have bedded her in front of those Marines. He'd be like, you boys ready for a show?
This one's for the Queen.
Yeah.
And then potentially passed her around.
Potentially.
If we're being honest. Yeah. I mean, and all I can
They're
think
going
about...
to Guantanamo, so probably, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, that's if they're going to Guantanamo, an orgy with 100 Marines is the least she has to worry about.
Yeah. As a Russian, it cannot be a good thing to hear somebody say, all right, let's go to Guantanamo.
Oh, yippee.
No.
Yeah.
What did you do? Well, I mean, I worked for a secret nuclear weapon program in Russia, but I helped you guys, right?
Yeah. You help the British. We'll see how far that carries you.
Yeah.
Get in the fuck chamber.
The ghost of Harry Truman's in there.
Have you first. No, I thought that death, just to go back to it, that death by Boris, all I could think about in that moment was how badly I wanted a fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze pun.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys think it was possible for me to mention Batman and Robin more than once on this podcast?
I didn't think it
see
was
it
going to
coming.
happen at all.
I'm not surprised. I just spent
You're welcome.
I just spent a long weekend with Derek in Kentucky. I'm not surprised about anything.
Hey, wait a minute. Now I have a question. Who the hell? Why? Who is Oddjob in the N64 game from this movie?
He's just from the other, like, there's a lot of villains
Yeah,
from
there's a
other
lot of
movies.
like
that are
Jaws wasn't in.
Oh, Jaws is in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Gotcha.
And I like the fact that Max says he spent a long weekend with me when he spent Friday, Saturday, and we left on Sunday.
That's a
very
long
long
weekend with Derek.
That's a very long, uninterrupted weekend with you.
And the funny thing is that weekend I also got passed around like this lady did to the Marines.
As is tradition.
Yep.
I'm taking dumps that resemble tuna cans now.
Yeah, a pet dispenser.
Just kind of falls out of me.
All right, well, I would say time for trivia, but I didn't write anything down, so fuck it.
Fuck
Well,
trivia.
you probably didn't because I'm on the podcast and we're less than 2 hours right now. We could stretch this thing out if we need to.
Aren't you impressed by how much I would just jam into one little segment there, Derek? Rather than us going over every little piece of information.
That first section, I was like, oh shit, I've been off
Derek-
more than I can chew here.
Derek's just shaking his head. He's like, no, wait, you missed so many things I need to go back on.
I thought it was 3 pages worth of notes there.
I have enough trouble keeping up normally, and it's just like, what the fuck? Where are we in this movie?
You're saying way too much. This is literally a 3-minute scene.
I don't get to talk enough anymore.
All right, time for the box office game. How much does this movie cost? How much did it make?
Oh, this is new.
Ugh,
Honestly, by the effects, I think this movie costs like $8. And it's a James Bond movie, so it probably made $250 million.
I mean, like it's probably like, I don't know. I'm gonna put this at like $75 million, and it made $200 million.
I'll guess. Ooh, I don't even have a point of reference here because this is the first time I played this game. 125 million and made 275.
So it cost $60 million,
Hmm?
and it made $356 million.
Oh,
Holy
my
shit.
God.
Big hit.
Jesus. That's
Massive
crazy.
hit.
I guess it was like marketed crazy too back then.
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
also, it'd been like 6 years since they'd been a Bond movie, so a lot of hype.
I think every VHS tape I bought in like the mid 90s had an ad for this. Like,
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
Fucking
Wow.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep. So United States, it premiered on November 17th of 95 to a weekend opening of 26 million, which was number 1 at the box office. Any guess who was number 2 that weekend?
What? Sorry, what? Twister?
I was going to say Twister.
No.
I think that's around the same time,
What year
wasn't it?
again?
95.
95?
Toy
I
Story.
think it was around.
Close. So Toy Story came out the next
damn.
week, which bumped it out of the number 1 spot.
Oh.
But the number 2 that week was Ace Ventura,
Oh.
When Nature
Oh.
Calls.
Nice.
Oh, Ace Ventura 2. Right? Isn't that 2?
No.
That's one.
I forgot what the title of the second
Pet
one is.
Detective.
No,
No, Pet Detective's one. Ace did,
Yeah.
Nature
It
Calls.
is,
That
yeah, it
is
is.
Ventura 2.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. So then Box Office Mojo's wrong then. Because 95 was like the big year for Jim Carrey because he did, or was it 94? I don't fucking know. Actually, no, it is. Yeah, it is the second one. Okay.
Nice job, Derek. You got him.
Yeah.
It's amazing what I can do
All
with
right, Derek, this is your
When I'm not out,
podcast
I'm
now.
not
You
drunk.
can wrap it up. You've
Oh.
dethroned Max.
Been overthrown, yes. Yeah, Nature Calls the second one.
Yeah.
Anywho, okay. Next question. Who's your favorite and least favorite in this?
Well, I gotta say, my favorite character is easily gonna be Admiral Chuck Farrell. The guy who dies, the Tim version who dies by Xenia, the first Xenia death that we get by what did we call it? Was it denching? Denching.
Give a good old denching.
Can I just point out?
I can't breathe.
The actor's name is Billy J. Mitchell, and the picture of his face when he died, like when he falls out of the closet, that is his IMDb picture. Fucking hilarious.
That is awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm gonna say my least favorite was Alec, Sean Bean. It's just he's not a good villain. It's not a good twist that he comes back. His plan sucks. I don't like. I like Sean Bean. This is just not good. That picture.
Yep. This one's also not that much better.
Oh no.
Let me go back. Let me say that again, Max.
Okay, hold on. I gotta find it. Hold on.
Oh my God.
The guy
That is a happy man. That is a happy dead man.
The guy is also.
So if you pan down though, you get the real show. You know,
That's mid-stroke. Oh.
The actor is actually dead too, so like that feels just disrespectful.
For real.
That could have been at his funeral. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's really proud of that.
That's what he told everybody before he died from alcohol poisoning. He's like, I was in a James Bond movie. Did you see it? You know, the worst one.
All right, who's next? Favorite, least favorite?
I can go. My favorite character was definitely Muffy. She leaves a lot to the imagination. You gotta wonder what she looks like when she takes her panties off. My least favorite was probably Onatop, because again, none of it really just made sense. To Tim's point, you just want to see her with her clothes off.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think, I don't know. I mean, I felt like she just kind of got in the way.
Good looking though.
Yeah.
Accurate?
My favorite
Jesus,
is
boss.
Xenia. My favorite Xenia. My least favorite is the towel that should have been off of her during that bathtub scene. That's the truth. Dem's the truth.
So my least favorite is going to be Boris with his like half-assed catchphrases that just go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite is going to be the N64 game.
Yeah, that's
Hey.
Yeah, good call.
It's a real character of this movie.
better
It's a
than
real
the
thing.
movie.
It's what's keeping this movie alive is that fucking video game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yep. All right, time to hold my popcorn ratings. Prepare to be judged. What's your rating for GoldenEye?
My rating is at least 20 titties that should have been in that movie. That's my rating.
I'm gonna give this movie a death by denching over 2 weeks, because that's how long it took me to finish it.
Well, I'm not going to be that different from you, Bill. I'm going to give it, what was it? I think 5 hearty death comes over the 500 yards, 500 miles potentially, that Sean Beam fell and died by fall, perhaps COVID. We don't really know.
That definitely got reported by Dr. Fauci as a COVID death. Yes.
Yeah,
He coughed.
yeah. That's right. He coughed up a little blood. We don't know. Let's not jump to conclusions.
COVID complications. It's like my Fauci impression.
That was good.
It's not as good as your weird French general impression.
Xenia, I can't breathe.
Tim, you got like your Halloween costume done for the rest of your life now.
Oh my God.
Everyone will
Everyone
get
will
it.
be like-
fucking good.
Everyone will be like, what are you? Like, general and admiral? What the fuck? And then I'll be like, hold on, wait for it. And I'll go, okay. Xenia, I can't breathe. And everyone will be like, oh, the general from James Bond who got Who got squeezed to death?
Who got denched to death?
Exactly.
Bingo.
Yep. Oh, you've heard our episode.
The old Dench pinch. Oh, God, I'm crying.
For my rating, I'll give this one Pierce Brosnan out of 5 Pierce Brosnans.
Brosnans.
A mediocre
Out
rating.
of.
Oh, God.
Originally, it was just going to be one death wish just via on a top, but yeah. What do you got, Dave?
I wanted to try and find some way to bring back, because I feel like it went underrated, Max, was your use of cum snail trail. I was really racking my brain to try and figure out a way to use that in my rating. But
How'd you know that it was on a top? I mean, just look at the floor. It's soaked.
All the bodies are floating.
Just, it's really musky in here. What else do you think did it?
I can't quite put my finger on why this water smells so weird, but it's just weird.
No, that's when Bond puts his finger down to the floor and licks it. He goes, Xenia.
Sugary sweet.
I've had this Quim before. All right, well, anything else you need to talk about before we wrap up?
I just, great to have Derek back on the podcast.
Agreed.
Wow. Was it, Tim? I guess, well, no, was it, Bill?
you know, Derek, you were a delight. Max, never do this to me again. Never.
Yeah, Derek got me rattled. His sobriety really fucking rattled me this episode.
Well, there
Shaking when I was trying to
wasn't
read.
a much extreme deterioration toward the end of the podcast. Like it didn't start off good and hot, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, here's my butthole.
I got a bone to pick with you, Derek. As where the hell were all the bananas?
Pick your bone.
There was no bananas. What happened to all the bananas?
What are you talking about?
That was like your catchphrase was everything was bananas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about actual bananas. Well,
No.
you know,
Sitting on those.
I'm a changed man. Yeah. I eat the bananas now. Whereas I was having a nice hearty meal of some sort of red meat, all the eggs in the house, and, some toast. Now I eat the bananas.
You are changed.
And my gout thanks me for it. Things change. People change, Bill. I'm still here for you. Anytime you want to get a nice denching.
I'm in. Especially with that new cut face that you have. I'm down. Let's do it. Dench me.
I can't wait for your tongue to roll across my cheek.
Dench me, Derek. Dench me.
Dench me good.
Dench me good.
Dench me like a real lady.
Like she was doing. Those were some. Wow. Good for him. What a way to go.
Indeed. Xenia. All right, that's the show.
God.
Check out the stickers. Redbubble. Stickers on Redbubble.
Buy them before I
Redbubble.
buy them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't bought
You're
one
right.
of them.
Yeah, tell your friends about us. We'll be back next week with The Living Daylights.
What?
There's no way they're going to tell their friends about us after
What
listening
movie
to
is
this
that?
podcast.
Living Day. Yeah, nobody tells their friends about us. But yeah, The Living Daylights is Timothy Dalton's first Bond movie.
Let's be real. If people are listening to this
Terrible
podcast, they don't have friends.
I think
kind of
I
the
think
appeal.
we get put on in like dementia wards at nursing homes.
Guantanamo rape parties.
Yeah. Actually, you want to know what? Could be why we're so popular in Russia. They're probably using us
I was
to
gonna
torture
say-
Ukrainians.
Russian seizures.
Broadcasting this all over Ukraine.
No, I will give you the code.
We don't know what you want, but just take it.
It is just put on Bride of Chucky. This will be over real fast.
We're going to put on the last 30 minutes of Bride of Chucky.
Oh shit! What an adventure.
Oh, God. Yep. Sometimes. Alrighty.
Well, I hope I surprised you boys.
I
did.
was surprised.
You're really going to be surprised when I sneak into your bedroom tonight, Bill. I'm also going to sneak into Tim's bedroom because this visual of Tim on a pulley system with Abby has got my mind racing.
Abby floating around the room. I think that's a great idea, Tim.
No, this is really me. She puts me on a pulley system. I just hang there.
It's the new version of the sex swing, except it's like medically necessary.
Yeah. And I just go, "You like that?" And she's like, "Yes, Tim. This is very good."
She just pushes you, just kind of gives you a pushback like you're on a swing.
Yeah.
How do you like this now? Is this good? Sure.
You rock back and forth.
Sure.
Yeah, right there, Tim.
Good.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yep.
Thank you.
Are we done now, Tim? Maybe.
A couple more pulls at the pulley system. Yeah, all right, now we're good.
Yeah. A couple more pulls at the pulley system and then Zenya!
It's funny every time.
Dude,
it's just very mellow. I'm just like, ugh.
it's the eyes. Oh my God. That's the best part of it. It's the fucking eyes. Which there's nothing better about listening to a podcast than having people talk about visual aspects of the podcast.
Visuals top notch on aspect.
They really come through well.
Visual is the most important part of a podcast.
Yep.
And I'll die on that hill.
Hold on, you got to take a screenshot, Max. You got to take a screenshot of.
I will.
Ready?
Okay. Yep.
Hold on.
Just say it again, Timmy.
It's so much better when he says it.
It is.
Oh God.
I mean, this is the contrast. Here's Tim just kind of looking at it, and then here's the real one.
Oh my Christ.
That picture. Oh boy. That's it.
That's actually, I'm changing this right now. This is gonna be my new caller ID for Tim. Definitely is.
Oh God.
I've been laughing hysterically at all of these, but in this one screenshot, I'm just fed up with this shit. And those eyebrows, Tim, those are wow. You have got those spiked.
Hey, you have no room to talk about the fucking eyebrows. Yeah. Ratchet that back, Billy boy.
Look, if there's anyone here who's an expert on eyebrows, it's this guy.